Hello, welcome back to my channel. I got in my ice cream beauty box for September, so let's take a look. I did peek. I will be trying this stuff on at the end of the video, so I looked to kind of see what I could leave out. But yeah, if you want to see what I got in this month's box, then just keep on watching. I will link them and their information down below. If you're interested, this box retails for $25 a month. So it's what BoxyCharm used to be. BoxyCharm is a little more expensive now, but you get 5 full-size items. They deal with primarily like indie brands. So that's a good way to discover a lot of good indie stuff. So yeah. If you want to see what I got in this month's box, then just keep on watching. Like I said, I did look only because I want to start getting back into doing try-ons at the end of the video because I think people are curious, but didn't want to do a separate video. That could be an idea where I take all of the stuff, and I might still do that from all of my boxes and put a look together. That might be like an extra video too. But anyways, let's see, fall into fall is what the theme is, and I like that they give you the card with the prices. So the first thing I was actually thinking I was going to put in a giveaway, but I'm going to end up keeping this. This is the Gerard Clean Canvas. I knew this was coming in the box, and this is my favorite eye primer. I actually have mine right here. I bought a new one. This is my old one, so you can see like the writing is very much worn off. I have a new one in the waiting in the wing, so I was like, oh, this is the fair shade, and I got this in a Try Beauty box, so you can see how much is left. I still have a little bit, but I do have a backup, so I was like, oh, I'll give this away. This is actually the white shade. They've expanded. They have fair, medium, and deep, because you can technically use this as a concealer too if you wanted to. And then they came out with the white shade. I just assumed they were going to give us the fair shade because, again, like I said, I got that in a subscription box. Oh, I remember how the side opens. There it goes. And I will be using the white one today. I looked at the white. It's funny. I looked at the white when I was ordering a new one, and I went back and forth. I was like, no, I'll just keep the one that I've been using because I do have white bases that I can use. So I'm excited to have this. So we will definitely, I'm not going to put it back in the box. We will definitely try this out. And this retails for, I just saw it on here, $22. It's a little bit pricey. I got mine on sale. It was like during, I want to say it was like Black Friday last year. That's how long I've been holding on to it. Mine might be a little bit old too. I'm thinking about just bringing out the new one now, but I got it for 10 bucks. So just wait for a sale. They do have sales. And Black Friday is not that far away. So if you're interested in picking one of these up, they are worth the money. Okay. Then there is a matte liquid lipstick, and this is from the company ZC. I think they're like a Chinese, Korean company. Their packaging on everything is really, really pretty. Okay, I opened this on the wrong end. I did. Because I took this out and looked at it. This says it's Galactic Matte. It's a new launch that's coming. It just says matte liquid lipstick. It retails for $25. This is what the packaging looks like. It's very cute. The only thing, you got the little like Saturn on there and then the little stars. The color is on the bottom. I wish, like, and that would have been expensive because this is one component, like to have a band or something. I don't know. It's just, I'm used to my liquid lipsticks being clear, but it is very, very cute packaging. This is in X03. I'm going to swatch it on the back of my hand just because I'm curious if this dries down. There's no smell. And you've got a nice, like, curvy doe foot, which is nice for application. Like I said, I'm hoping that this dries down completely. We'll see. So we got that. Again, this retails for $25. So I think the value is definitely here in these boxes. We got another shadow from Chantico Beauty. I got 2 of these in a box before. One of mine broke. I was able to repress it. This is in a different shade. These retail, it's a duochrome topper. Sparkling shadow is what it's called. It retails for $19. I wonder if I didn't open this before. I must not have. I can't get that open. The other 2 that I have are really pretty, and those ones are, I think, are in gold packaging. So I wonder if they changed the component, because yeah, it's shattered, and I still have blue glitter all over my table that will not come off from it. So there's the, it's like a pink to a, can't tell if that's lilac. Oh, there it is. It's blue. Pink to a blue shift. These do have somewhat of a base to them, so you can wear them on their own, or you can layer them on top of other shadows, but they're really nice. Like I said, I was able to salvage the one that broke last time. I'll have to show you my table, but they're very, very pretty, very sparkly. Then we got, this is called a Glow Light by Sorge. I've never heard of this brand before. It's a highlighter. This retails for $15. It just says it's perfect for those who want a radiant, natural looking glow, luminous finish. I do have a little bit of highlighter on, but we will put this on top. I was testing out a Laura Geller Trio Compact, and so I just put a little bit. I think this is the vanilla, whatever her highlighter, vanilla highlighter. It's very subtle, so I figured it would be okay to layer for the purpose of this video. So the hair, it looks just like a white highlighter. So let's swatch it with a different finger than I used for the ID. So it's just very icy. I don't love white highlighters. It is very subtle, like super subtle, like right there. So for me, even like this subtle of a highlighter, I would probably have to put a little bit on top. It looks like there's a little bit of like micro shimmer, maybe. It's hard to tell. We'll put it on. Like I said, this is exactly the type of highlighter I would layer this with, a more natural one. So I think that'll work out. And then we got a palette. Now, one of my shadows came a little bit cracked. I did fix it. And it's funny, I've never contacted customer service with this company when something's come a little bit broken. I just fix it and move on. Probably should, but I already fixed it. Sometimes it's better, like if you're, especially an eyeshadow palette, don't press them, take the picture of them completely shattered, because sometimes they don't believe you that it's broken if you fixed it. So just food for thought. This is from Gourmand Girls. It's called the Secret Grove palette. I'm gonna come in, the shimmer that's in here got a little bit messy too. And then I'll show you the shade that cracked. It was one of the matte shadows. So it was meaning to come in and clean this up, just because there's like brown and glitter all over the edges, and if you knock that into the shadow when you're using it, you can get it obviously into your look. So I'm just trying to clean up the edge just a hair, and I'll show you the color story. So this is the outer packaging. It's very cute, and this palette is available on Gourmand Girls website. This is not a ice cream box exclusive like the last palette that they did. This has shadow on it, and the sleeve just looks exactly like the outer packaging. So I'm gonna, so I don't get more eyeshadow all over my table than I've already got. Like I said, that blue glitter will not go away, but I have the other palette sitting here that the Gourmand Girls did for the box, and it was exclusive to the Ice Cream Beauty box. You could only get this in the box. I got the Power Palette, which is the grungy version. They did have a neon option too, but they were only available to the Ice Cream Beauty box. This palette is being sold on Gourmand Girls website. I will link it down below. It retails for $30. So let's open it up. Let's see, there's 4, 8, 12. It's a 12 pan palette. It looks like there's only 2 shimmers. This Academia shade, no, I think that's matte. So this brown one's the one that came cracked. You can kind of see. I repressed it. You get this like multi-chrome, and then I haven't swatched this one yet, but very, very pretty color story. I was listening to Angelica Nyquist talk about this because Gourmand Girls, like I said, is launching this on their website, and she was saying that it kind of reminded her of the Hella palette with the pink and the greens. I can see that. But it is a very, very pretty palette, and I think it's a little bit different of a take on fall. You do still have some of those traditional fall colors in this bottom row, but I like the addition of the pink and the burgundy with the peach. Let's swatch the shimmers. I tapped into the multi-chrome. I didn't tap into this other one. This one's at least a duochrome because this white has a little bit of a pink shift. Very, very creamy. So there, that is in the shade Euphoric, and then Bewitching. They're very flaky, but this is definitely, like, you can see the shift there. Okay. So there we have that. Very, very pretty shimmers. Gourmand Girls does not have my favorite matte formula. I don't think their mattes are bad by any means. They're usable. They're not overly pigmented, at least the palettes that I have that I've used. But you can build up the colors, which is a little bit probably more user friendly. But I love their shimmers. I have their Spooked palette. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get the Haunted palette when it launches. I'm filming this on Wednesday. I completely forgot to check and see if that dried down. That's all right, we're gonna put the lipstick on anyway, but the Haunted palette launches on the 15th, so I think I'm gonna get that, and then eventually I will get the Nomad Ghost Town palette. I can't buy a ton of palettes every month. I have to prioritize, and Glamlight is launching their Scream palette at the end of the month, so I know I want to get that also. So yeah, that is everything that I got in the box. I'm going to bring you in and we will do the try on portion. I was going to hopefully film a couple more videos after this, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I hurt my back yesterday. I can sit here and film, but I can't bend over. So I'm going to have to use washcloths to wash this off, but I can't get down into my drawers. So anyways, let's do the highlighter first, because we're going to go over the highlighter that I have on, the blush, the bronzer, everything. This is from the Baked Color and Contour Highlight Blush Bronze Sculpt palette. There's no shade names. I want to say this is the vanilla. That's what it looks like. So it's super subtle. It just, I don't know what they were all listed on the website when I ordered it, like what the shades of bronzer and stuff were, but I don't know. I don't remember what the blush or the highlight was called. Vanilla just stands out. So we're gonna go, like I said, something like this. This light, I would layer it anyway, which I'm not opposed to doing. I have quite a few highlighters in my drawer that I keep together because I like to use them together. One will generally have more shimmer in it than the other, and I'll layer them together, and it kind of tones down the shimmer and they look really pretty. So I'm not opposed to a subtle highlight. I think it's interesting because the Planet highlight that we got a couple months ago that looked like it was in like a little Saturn compact, that's a pretty subtle highlight too, and I think that might be from ZC also. That might be the same brand. But I think it's interesting that they do such bold eye makeup and then their highlighters tend to be really subtle. I just think that's funny. Okay, so let's use the Gerard Clean Canvas. Again, this is the eye primer that I've been using for years. I work out of the cap if you end up picking one up until there's nothing to work out in the cap. And then sometimes, like I've traveled with this, it'll get jostled around and more will end up. A little bit goes a long way. And I'd like to take it with a concealer brush just because of my nails. I have a hard time getting into like the inner part of my eyelid. Now the description for the white is it's, you know, the same formula, but the white pigment they claim will help keep the eyeshadow more true to color, which that's, I needed a white base if you watched my candy corn eye look. So this would be perfect underneath where that matte, because their mattes are not as pigmented as what I would prefer. I think the white will help a lot. Now I do have like white shadow sticks that I will use on the lid, and then I do have a liquid, a cream white shadow from About Face that dries down. So I do have other white options, but it's nice. It's not stark white like my white shadow is, so I think this will work better for all over the lid. Those ones I don't take up all the way because of how opaque they are. Okay, so let's come in here. I'm not sure, and I have found if you mix too many mattes together from this brand, they get muddy. So also keep that in mind, because I'm looking at the dark brown and I'm looking at the dark green and I'm debating if I should try and put a little bit of the brown or if it's going to make the green really murky. Let's just do the green first. So this is in Solitude. There's 3 greens. This is the one in the middle of the palette. This isn't an actual tutorial, so I'm not going to hold the palette up. I just want to see. And I also, because my other eye primer is a little bit older, I don't think it's been performing as well, so I think I need to just probably open the new one now, even though I still have some product left, because it doesn't feel like it's as tacky. Like, it feels like the dry down is quicker, so I don't get the same results from it, because that's part of the reason I like it. It's got a slightly tacky base. Until obviously, like I said, it dries down, because you can use it as a concealer, but it doesn't stay as wet as long as it used to, which is why I don't put primer on both eyes unless I'm going to do them at the same time. So Maury is the green to my right. And like I said, their mattes are good. They're a little bit on the drier side, and they just, like I said, don't have my absolute favorite matte formula, but their shimmers are really nice, so I will overlook the matte issue. If the mattes were like absolute horrible, I would have it would be a different story, even if the shimmers were amazing. But I think having a wetter base, like I said, with mattes like this is better, because you're going to get more color payoff. So I do think it's helpful. Like I said, the more I use this new one, the more I think I need to open my other one. So I'm going to go into Sage, which is the lightest green. Sage and Maury look similar in the pan, but I can tell that this is light enough that it's helping with the blending. So I think that's good. I'm gonna try. I just can't get the packages open on these. I think I'll use a little bit of this maybe in the inner corner, just so we can use it, and then that way we can use all the products. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the highlighter and just use that as the brow bone. There is the white like duochrome, but I don't want something that intense today under the eye, so I'll just, if I don't have an inner corner highlight handy, a lot of times I'll just use my highlighter, just because I'm too lazy to get up and go get something else out of my drawer. Okay, I'm curious about the brown. I keep looking at it. Let me pull out a pencil brush and see if I can put just a smidgen There's a couple little pieces I was trying to get loose. I'm just gonna put it down here just because I'm curious. That actually, because it didn't swatch really great when I was pressing it and swatching the excess, so I was a little concerned, but swatches are not everything. This seems fine. Because I think that did a pretty good job layering on top of the green. I was just curious about it. So I'm gonna take a little bit more of the green. Okay. And then I'm gonna try this without, well no, it's pretty flaky. I was gonna say, let me try it without glitter glue, but I don't think that's a good idea. Okay. Apparently the whole tip came off. And this is a new one too. Oh, that makes me upset because now I'm gonna have to go buy another one. Okay. Yeah, that's bizarre. Like I said, and this isn't even the old one that I'd had for like 3 years. This is my new one that I bought recently because I had a bunch of stuff expire on me, so I had to go through and do like overhaul. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to the side and then try and, unless I keep that other drawer, I guess I could keep the other container and clean it out and squeeze that. I might try that first just so I can use it because like I said, that's a brand new tube. Okay. So we are going to go into Bewitching, and I'm going to try and come in with my finger a little bit and then go back. And I think this kind of a shade would look really pretty with like the graphic liner on top. Normally I don't do this dark of a shade on my lid, but it's really pretty. We're going to do that bright pink. It is flaky. I'm getting some fallout with the brush. I didn't with my finger because I went straight in and was pressing it on the tacky base, so it didn't flake at all when I used my finger, so just keep that in mind. It did flake off a little bit, but I think that's really pretty. Okay, and I'm just going to take a little bit more. My husband and I are supposed to go to this thing on Friday. It's like some horror thing at the fairgrounds. So I might use this palette because we're going to be doing like, I have these shirts from Cavity Colors. There's a Frankenstein and a bride on them. We're going to wear those. What I did up here I think would work with the shirt. I was going to hunt around for a palette, but since I hurt my back, this actually might be a good little option. Yeah, like I said, it flaked a little bit, but not too bad. Okay, so let's see. For the lower lash line, I think I'm going to use the burgundy and the pink, just so we can try those. I'm going to take the burgundy color about halfway over. And then blend that out a little bit, and then I'll come in with the pink. And then maybe a little bit of the peach underneath. And then, yeah, just a little bit of the peach shade. The burgundy was wanting to blend out pretty good on its own, so that's nice. Okay, and then I think I'll take a little bit of the white shimmer and put it just towards the front. Again, they're a little bit chunkier of a consistency, so it's fighting me a little bit, but I think that's pretty. I'm getting it to go on. And it could be it just doesn't like that flat brush either. But. Okay, and then we'll take my little pencil brush. This pink shadow. This might be too dark for an inner corner, but we're gonna try it. The other option I think would be pretty would maybe be a little bit of the yellow or the orange shade that's in the front, or in the front, at the bottom for inner corner. If you like a matte inner corner, I just figured we could try a little bit of this. And then I could go in with a little bit of the white to lighten it up. I definitely don't hate that. But I said I think one of the yellow shades, even with the pink on the bottom, would look really pretty. Okay, so let me make the eyes match and we'll come back and do. So I tried to bring in, I didn't use any primer over here at all. The only thing that was probably on my eyelid was a little bit of foundation from when I got ready, which had dried down long ago. So this is no glitter glue, no primer, just bare eyelid. The lower lash line is pretty much gonna look the same just because I already had concealer and stuff on. And then I did do the yellow on the inner corner just so you could see that, but there's no glitter glue, so you can see the difference. I think this is still pretty. It's a little bit softer, obviously, without the glitter glue, so you can use it without one. I definitely think you have more intensity with that. So there's both of the eyes. I'm gonna leave this palette out, and then I gotta figure out what to do with that, my glitter glue that broke after I am finished. So let's come in. We just have the lip. I'm gonna bring you guys in a little bit more, and I'm not gonna use lip liner. I should probably take off. I put some, that Too Faced RX, whatever, the lip balm. Got a little too crazy with the washcloth. But anyway, so let's try this. This is in the shade XO3. And I do like the applicator. I think it'd help using a lip liner just because this tip, it's hard to get super close to the edge on the bottom like you saw. But it's a very like thin gel type formula. Yeah, because you can see how messy it looks over here. I think I definitely would have benefited from a lip liner, but it's always nice to see how the applicator and everything performs on its own. So I would definitely recommend, just because of the shape of the doe foot. I don't think this color matches with this eye look, but this is definitely a very like deep berry for fall. I really like the color. I'm gonna let this hang out and I will come in one more time and we'll see if it dried down. So I did go, if anybody was curious, and open this is the brand new one in Fair, and then I did scrape out and clean out the other container while I was waiting for this to dry. So that is all NYX glitter glue. Like there's a lot of product in one of those tubes, so I'm glad I had a container that I could salvage that'll hopefully keep it airtight, because it does have like a screw-on lid. I'm gonna have to write NYX on the top of this one. I'll have to hunt around to see if I have a marker down here, but there is that. And then let's check. It dries down quite a bit. It's not completely transfer proof. There's like just a tiny little bit on my fingers, but it doesn't feel like it's dried down, so it still has a nice gel consistency, very similar to the one that Gwen Stefani has, her liquid lipstick. The formula is very, very similar. Hers does dry down completely, but it doesn't feel like it is. So it's very comfortable. I would say that was not a tremendous amount of transfer, so that's good, but just keep in mind it isn't completely transfer proof. But yeah, that is everything that I got in the box this month. You'll have to let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what you guys thought of the eye look. And yeah, make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and hopefully I'll see you in another video very, very soon. Bye, everybody.